Hello students, welcome back to your science class. So students, in the previous class, in the previous class students, we were discussing about that of the water, what is the importance of the water. We have understood that water is what it is essential for every living organism, and it is what it's a kind of a wonder liquid. Why? Because uh, all the organisms which is present on the earth, they are dependent on it for their survival. The water is necessary. Although if we talk about the water itself, so there are different sources by which we get water, including the underground water, which we call as a fresh water. Fresh water is also present in the other water bodies, like lake is there, or river is there, or even pond is there. So springs, these all are water resources of the these are the source of the water, source of the fresh water. And most of the water present on the earth is in ocean or sea, and their amount is very much. But the problem is that the water is actually a saline water, it is not a fresh water, so that is not fit for our consumption, so we cannot drink that water. Other water is in the form of a glacier, in the form of a solid. It is trapped in glaciers, or it is present in the form of icebergs which floats on the river. So basically, it is in the it is we can say it is in the form of ice caps or that of the glaciers. So only very few amount of a few percentage of water is available to us that we can drink here. Now that water also, it is because of that only there is a scarcity of water, students. One more thing, that the rainfall is not rainfall is it is not what to say, it is actually, it does not occur equally in all the places. The distribution of the water, we can say, it's not equal. And yes, it is because one of the factor is because of the rainfall, students, that the uneven distribution also of water in a different places, that will causes the scarcity of water, even though our earth is 75% of our earth is covered with the water. And in that less amount of a water, that is also get polluted because of the pollutant. And you see that what is the when we talk about the water pollution, what are the effects of the water pollution, because we already knew about the pollutants which causes the water pollution. And use of fertilizers are there, students. Then mixing of that of the sewage water or the dirty water with the water bodies, and or spilling of oil. These all are what, these all are the responsible for the waste material which is directly coming through the industries or through the power plant. Okay, like if we talk about the nuclear power plant, so the radioactive element mixes with the water and it will pollute the water. So basically it will degrade the quality of the water, as well as that will enhances more microbes. If we talk about the seaways or the sewer, the water which mixes with the water, this will increases the number of microbes in it and make the water pollute. Now see here, what are the effect of the water pollution? So the effect of the water pollution is what? The addition of undesirable substances to water. These substances could be fertilizer, pesticides used in farming, or they could be poisonous substance like mercury salt, which are used by paper industry. And this could also disease causing organism like bacteria, which causes cholera. See, the undesirable substances which is added, undesirable, yes, the changes which is caused by these pollutants make it the water bodies polluted. So these are not desirable substances, these are the undesirable substances. So the addition of the undesirable substances will make the water bodies polluted. And the reason substances that can be used here is fertilizers. As you can see here, the fertilizers are there, pesticides are there, which is used in farming. And students, they could be poisonous substances, like if we talk about the mercury salt, or which is used in the paper industries. Even I told you some of the radioactive element which is released through that of the nuclear power plant. So these will what, it will be very, makes the water very toxic, very because they themselves are very poisonous. So the organisms which is present in it, if they will consume such water, then that will causes a death of the living organism. So these not only this, see, these could also be disease causing organism like bacteria, which causes cholera. We know that cholera is what, is a waterborne disease. It means the microbes of the bacteria of the cholera can easily survive in the water, and that can be result into a disease. Then the next one is the removal of desirable substance from water bodies. Dissolved oxygen live in water, is used by the animal and the plant live in water. Any changes that reduces the amount of this dissolved oxygen would adversely affect these aquatic organisms. Other nutrients could also be depleted from water bodies. See here, uh, the removal of the desirable substances from the water bodies. So one of the thing that can be that can occur because of water pollution. The first one is the addition of the undesirable substance, and the second one is the removal of the desirable substances. Like what is the desirable substance, student? Here the desirable substance is the oxygen, the dissolved oxygen present in the water. So you know that aquatic animals, even the aquatic plants, they are dependent on the oxygen which is already dissolved or present in the water. So they need that dissolved oxygen. So if any change occur because of that, if the dissolved oxygen get reduced, this will going to affect the living organism, the survival also. See, if we talk about the terrestrial organism, we need oxygen. Similarly, the aquatic organisms also need oxygen. So if any kind of a change that occur because of pollutant or any kind of an activity which is responsible for reducing the amount of the oxygen, then yes, this will severely affect that of the aquatic organism. Then a change in temperature. Aquatic organisms are used to a certain change of temperature in water body where they live, and a sudden marked change in the temperature would dangerous for them or affect their breeding. Again, the larvae of the various animal are particularly susceptible to temperature changes. See, this is the third one. Not only this, student, the temperature should not rise. Change in the temperature, it means what? Change in the environment. And you know that change in the environment, it is not suitable for every living organism, right? See, we can say that yes, there are organisms which are able to adapt themselves according to the situation, according to the environment, but there are organisms which are not able to survive in such a condition, in a drastic change condition. So on that basis, on that note, we can say that a change in temperature will going to affect that of the living organism. Now, not only this, you know that there are actually, students, when we talk about the fertilization, here in the last one it is written that the eggs and the larvae of various animals are particularly susceptible to the temperature change. Yes, you know that the temperature, the eggs which is laid by the parent, it is what, it is maintained at a certain temperature, and if the temperature really become high, then what happen, they will be not able to survive. Not only this, but the larva which hatches the egg and came out also need a proper temperature for their development or for their conversion from larva to that of the adult. Okay, so we can say that if any changes occur to the temperature, uh, that will going to affect, any rise in the temperature or change in the temperature occur, that will going to affect the water bodies. It will going to affect the organism living in the water bodies. Okay. Now this is about the water pollution, student. Now there is another one which is really important for us, and that is soil. Yes, how soil is important to us. So basically soil is what? It is rich in minerals. We know that soil is an important resource that decides the diversity of life in an area. But what is the soil and how is it formed? The outermost layer of the earth is called crust, and the mineral found in this layer supplies a variety of nutrients to the life form. But these minerals will not be available to organism if the minerals are bound in a huge rocks. See, yes, and over a long period of a time, thousands and million years of ago, the rocks or at the near surface of the earth are broken down by various physical, chemical and some biological process. See what happened here. If we talk about the mineral riches, basically mineral riches in the soil. Mineral riches in the soil. Why soil is important? So you will say soil is important so that the plant can remain stand. The plants. It help in giving support to the plant. It help in making the plant to stand erect. Okay. So this is the one thing. Other, some of the living organisms are there who lives inside to that of the soil. So yes, it is also a shelter of a lot of living organism. Okay, other thing, so the most important thing here, okay, it helps the plant to stand upright, but also it is important since the plant they get the nutrient, they get the minerals from the soil itself. Okay, so the soil must be rich in the minerals. You know that a plant cannot survive if the soil is infertile. So when we talk about the fertile or infertile, fertility is what? It generally means that the soil must consisting a lot of nutrients in it, right? And if it is infertile, it means what? It does not having humus, it does not having the proper macro or micronutrient which is necessary for the survival of the plants. Okay, so soil, how soil is formed? The question arises that how soil is formed. So soil is formed from the rocks. Okay, and whatever these rocks are what, the rocks consisting of the minerals they have, we can say that the rocks, the minerals they bind with that of the huge rocks. So to get to that of the soil, it is important that those rocks which consisting of minerals in it, they must break down, and thus the formation of the soil occur, which also consisting of the minerals in it. Now see here, here it is written that the outermost layer of the earth is called crust, and the mineral found in this layer supply a variety of nutrient to all living forms. Yes, we also get the nutrient from it. How? Plants they used to obtain the nutrient from the from that of the they also get nutrient from that of the soil, and we get that nutrient from the plants itself. So obviously somehow directly or indirectly, like if we take an example of a nitrogen, students, so you know that nitrogen, it is available, 78% of a nitrogen is present in the atmosphere. Even then also we are not able to consume the nitrogen from the atmosphere. We get that nitrogen from the plants. And how the plants they get it? The plants get it from the soil itself. Although we know that the bacteria is responsible, but the fixation that happens, this basically happens with the help of the bacteria present in the root nodule, or we can say that that mineral is also again in the form of a nitrate, it is released into the soil. So we can say here, when the next you see student, remember when in class 8th we have studied about the crop rotation. So what is in the crop rotation? In the crop rotation we have seen that at first we used to cultivate the leguminous plant, and then in the next one we used to cultivate the wheat. So what happened, the nitrogen which was provided by that of the leguminous plant to the soil, it will be consumed by that of the wheat plant in the next year, right? So what is this? It means somehow the soil is what is consisting of the nutrient which help in giving in giving the nutrient to the other plant, or which help in the nourishment of the next plant. So basically we can say that earth is what it is, the outermost is the crust, and this crust, it is what it is important since it help in providing a lot of minerals. uh, you know that when we extract any element, pure element from the ore, what does that mean? It means that we obtain all the minerals in the combined form only. So we can say that it is the art from the earth crust. So we can say that earth crust is what it is rich in mineral, and this mineral is important as it helps in providing nutrient to all the life forms. But these minerals will not available to the organism in a long period of a time. If the minerals are bound up in the huge rocks. Yes, if the huge rocks are there, students, all the minerals are bound up in the huge rocks, and we did not get that. So in order to get that of the minerals, uh, over 1,000 of years, or of a million of years, this rocks which is present at the surface of the earth, they get broken down, and the breaking of these rocks into the soil, or the conversion of these rocks into the soil, it involves the physical method, chemical method, or biological process also. So the rocks which is bound up, which consisting of minerals in it, they broken down with the different processes. Now the end product of this breaking down is the fine particle of the soil. But what is the factor of the process that makes soil? Yes, we must know that, okay, I am saying that the rocks are what they consisting of minerals in it, and it will take a lot of a time for the conversion of the rock to the soil. But there may be some of the factors that we have said also, that it is the process of the conversion of the rock into soil occur by the physical process, chemical process, or biological process here, right? So what are the different processes by which the conversion of it occurs, conversion of the rocks into the soil occur? Now see here, the sun. First one is the sun only, students. Now see here, the sun. The sun heat up rocks during the day so that they expand. At night these rocks cool down and contract. Since all the part of the rock do not expand and contract at same rate, this results in the formation of cracks, and ultimately the huge rocks breaks up into small pieces. Now see here, the first factor which is responsible for the formation of the rock is what? That is sun. Sun. How? What happen if you heat anything? Then what happen? It will expand. When you cool the thing, it will contract. This is the property of everything, that when you heat it, it will expand, and when you cool it, it will contract. In case of the rocks, it is the same only. Here, when the sunlight reaches to the rock during the day, then what happened? They used to expand. So expansion occur when the sun it heat up the rock during the day. At night what happen? These rocks it cools down and it contract. So during day it heat up, and during night it cools down. Now since all the part of the rock do not expand and contract at the same rate, this result in the formation of a crack, and ultimately huge rocks break up into smaller pieces. Now what happened? Suppose a big rock is there and the sunlight is falling evenly at everywhere, but what happened? Some of them expand earlier, and other one it takes time to be expand. Then the first one again it contract earlier, and the second one it takes time to contract. Now what happened? Due to this uneven contraction or expansion of that of the rocks makes a crack. Obviously, if a thing is there which is contracting, expanding, and the other thing is there that is also contracting, expanding, and both of them are together, What happen if suppose one is contracting earlier than that of the other? That will cause what? A small gap will be formed between them, or a small gap or a crack will be formed between them. So this crack is generated because of the heat of the sunlight. So when the sunlight falls on the surface of the rock, expansion and contraction will create a crack. Okay, so creation of the crack, one of the factor is the sun only. The second one, now the second one, see, water. Water, how water? Water help in the formation of soil in two ways. One, water could be get into the cracks in the rock form due to uneven heating by the sun. And if this water freezes, it will cause a crack to widen. Can you think why this should be so? Two, flowing water wear away even hard rock over a long period of a time. Second one is, students, that is uh, see, here it is written that one, water could get into the crack in the rocks formed due to uneven heating by the sun, and if this water freezes, it causes the crack to widen. See, it is said that how the water is responsible for the formation of the crack, students. Sorry, how the water help in the formation of the soil. We said that we have discussed just that sun is responsible for the formation of the cracks. Now water is what? It is it is actually continuing the process or helping in the formation of the soil. How? The first one, uh, in between to that of the cracks which is formed because of the sunlight, the water enter into it. It starts entering through that of the cracks, through the cracks. Okay, and due to this, the cracks, it starts increasing. Okay, so we can say here, that's why it is written that you can see water could get into cracks in the rock formed due to uneven heating by the sun, and if this water freezes, it would cause the crack to widen. So basically the cracks which is developed due to the uneven heating of the sun, water starts entering into it. As the water start entering, due to the flow of the water, what happened? There is a formation of a gap between them, between that of the cracks, and sometimes due to very low temperature, the water which is passing through it will get freezes up. As it will get freezes up, that will help in increasing the cracks between the rocks. The second one is 2. Flowing water wear away even the hard rock over long period of a time. Fast flowing water often carries a big and a small particle of rock downstream. So if a water is water, the second one, a flowing water is there. So flowing water, it used to take away the hard rock, and this hard rock, it is taken away with the water, it is taken away over a long distance, and due to which what happened with the flow of the water, this rock, it will get collide, or it will get rubbed by the other rock against other rock, and due to which it gets break down. What happened is, suppose anything is coming from the from a slope, from a higher end to the lower end, what will happen? It starts it starts breaking, we can say, of the substance. Similarly here also, the rocks, they are actually when it is coming downward, or with the help of the water, they used to collide with the other rocks, and due to which there is a abrasion that is formed in the rocks, and basically it occurs it because of the collision, and this will makes, you can see here, this will makes the rocks smaller and smaller particle. Okay, so as the water will take it to a longer distance, so it will be broken down into the smaller pieces. The water then take these particles along with it and deposit further down its path. soil is thus found in the place far away from the parent rock. That is why you see the where the soil is formed and where the rock is there, the place is what, far away from each other, because water has is carried that of the rock to a good distance, to a very far distance. The third one is a student, that is wind only, and the wind also the similar one. Like water, we have seen that the rock is carried to a certain distance from the parent rock, and there the collision occur, and due to this collision between the two rocks will make the rock to be break into the smaller and smaller pieces, and ultimately this is how the formation of the rocks occur. So we have seen the sun, water and wind, all three are responsible for the formation of the soil, and since they consisting of the minerals in it, so that will make a soil a more mineral rich soil. Okay.